The Wayne County Commission Committee on Ways.
Yep.
Excuse me. The Wayne County Commission Committee on Ways and Means meeting will now come to order. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Commissioner Scott. Commissioner Baker McCormick has requested an excuse. Commissioner Marecki is temporarily excused. Commissioner Clementi. Here. Commissioner Anderson.
Here.
Vice Chair Baydoun.
Here.
Chair Kinlock.
Present.
We have a quorum present.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda.
Item B, Chair's remarks.
Motion is in order. Oh,
No.
no, thank you. No comments at this time. Next item.
Item C, approve the minutes from the November 2024 meeting.
Motion is in order. It's been moved. Is there support? Moved and supported. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, this item stands approved. Next item.
Item D, unfinished business. There is none listed. Moving to item E, one under new business. A communication from the Department of Management and Budget report on the status of all outstanding Wayne County bonds.
Madam Clerk, please recognize that Commissioner Marecki has joined the meeting.
Duly noted.
Thank you. And as relates to item number one, okay, we'll take all these items with one motion at the end. Madam, any questions regarding this item? Next item.
Item number two, communication forwarding a Department of Management and Budget report listing all active county component units.
Any questions regarding this item? Next item.
Item three, communication forwarding a Department of Management and Budget report on the implementation of Connect 43.
Okay, so who's here to speak to this item?
I will try as best I can. Greg McIntyre, Deputy Budget Director.
Okay, give us a general overview as it relates to the overall implementation and the costs where things stand now. And the effects as it relates to the system crash or any other information you can share with us.
The cyber attack did not affect what we're doing now with Oracle.
Okay.
That's some of the good news. We are in the process of identifying additional resources that we need for this Oracle implementation. And so a budget adjustment will be coming to this commission in the very near future.
Okay, I'd like to talk to you, have your team, Mr. Wallace and your team, to have a conversation with Mr. Adams and myself before that item comes forward, because I want to make sure we get as many questions answered in preparation for that, because we've been having some conversations as relates to keeping an eye on those costs. Okay, any additional questions? Commissioner Marecki? Commissioner Clementi?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I have also asked to have a meeting, so maybe we can all coordinate that together, please.
Okay, we can do that. You can absolutely join us as it relates to that. More eyes, the better as it relates to that goes. Oh,
Most of this stuff does come through government apps, so I think we could all do.
So any additional questions? Yes.
Since you brought up the question about issues because of the hack that took place, maybe this might not be the best place to bring it up, but we're having issues in the office on our system and not being able to access files. And I'm sure other commissioners are having the same issues. Do you have any knowledge about that, or what we might, because I don't see anyone here from IT in particular, but are they looking at resolving those issues that we have not being able to recover files that are on our computers?
Sure. With what I know, my last conversation with IT is that they are in the process of restoring us through September 2024. So before we were restored through March 2024, but the download of data takes time. So they've asked us to prioritize which files and servers, which files and folders are most important. Of course, budget stuff is most important. So they're starting from that starting point. So they're trying to restore us up through September 2024 at this time.
Do you know, as far as a system, do we have a backup system now? I mean, I thought we would have had a backup system from for all of this, all the way through.
We're starting to utilize SharePoint that's out in the cloud to sort of protect us from this type of attack in the future.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Commissioner Clemente and then Commissioner Baydun.
I would just like to mention that IT is probably the specialist there. If we did have a talk in government ops about there were some things that everyone was asked to do to use SharePoint, and maybe we're not all doing that. So if you need help with that, I would get a hold of IT, and if your files were not saved to SharePoint, then that is something you also need to talk with IT about. The sooner they know that, the better. And then if you are not using SharePoint, or if your staff is not using SharePoint, they need to be doing that immediately. Thank you.
Thank you. See, there was a number of folks who were kicked out, and had some issues of logging in because they weren't checking, I guess, logging in at least once a month or something like that. So there's, yeah, so we absolutely, because of this, need to know that we need to start utilizing SharePoint, utilizing stuff as it relates to the cloud.
Yeah, and yeah, that's our cloud storage. Thank you. Sorry.
Okay, so, Commissioner Baydun, did you have a question? Okay, I understand that, Mr. Wallace is on. John Wallace, the CFO.
Yes, I'm here. Hello.
Okay, yeah,
Afternoon.
so this item here, can you give, some in-depth as relates to, this item, item number 3, this, report?
I don't have, okay, I'm looking at it now. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, so that's just a general update that we provided with regard to the budget instructions.
Okay, so, okay, thank you as it relates to that piece there, but I understand that you anticipate some let me ask you, do you anticipate some additional costs in regards to the implementation of continuing implementation of this?
Yeah, so right, we're actually evaluating that now. And one of the things we're going to need to do is look at increasing, the contracts related to the staff augmentation. One, to continue to, stabilize HCM as well as lessons learned with HCM as it relates to ERP to continue to provide those staffing services. But also, in going through this process, our run rates ran a little higher than expected during the stabilization and go live process with HCM. So we're going to need to add money for those contracts as well. So we'll be, coming to the commission in the next few weeks with a proposal.
Okay, so one thing that I mentioned from day one, when we started bringing on and talking about the necessary contractors that will be involved with implementing as well as maintenance associated with this, what I am hoping is that part of this is training, that we began to utilize our in-house staff to carry out the functions that these contractors have. I do not anticipate, nor do I, hope that anyone anticipate that we'll be utilizing these contractors from augmented staffing standpoint on a long-term basis. We should, to the best of our ability in those areas where we have employees, train them to utilize the software and the processes associated with this new system that we're utilizing. So I'm just saying, I understand that as we're getting things going, but I want to also hear not about the implementation, execution of the contracts, but also the sunsetting, the anticipated how long these contracts will be necessary. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's definitely the goal. I mean, the one goal is obviously with the staff augmentation is really like these specified skill sets that are needed during the implementation. And I would agree as the system goes live, we continue to train our, Wayne County employees and subject matter experts and end users to continue to use the system. But those folks are not necessarily staff aug.
Okay. Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you for that. Okay. Appreciate that. Next item, Madam Clerk, any additional questions? No. Okay. Thank you.
Item 4, communication from Department of Management and Budget on budget report on the fiscal years 2021 through 2022 and 2022-2023 annual comprehensive financial report and single audit findings.
Okay, okay, any questions? Next item?
Item 5, communication from the Department of Management and Budget, report on general funds accumulated surplus or fund balance assigned versus unassigned and the amount allocated for budget stabilization for the 2022 and 2023 fiscal years.
Any questions? Any questions? Next item?
Item number 6, a report from the Management and Budget Department on the impacts the COVID-19 pandemic has had and will have on the county finances and the potential impact on both the county's bond rating and ability to borrow funds.
Any questions? Any questions? Next item, Madam Clerk.
Item number 7, a report from the Management and Budget Department ensuing that the Wayne County Employees Retirement System is funded more than 60%.
Okay, any questions? Any questions? Next item?
We're moving to item number 8, communication from the Department of Management and Budget, a report on how the COVID-19 pandemic has and could continue to impact property tax revenues.
Okay, any questions? Any questions on this report? Next item?
Item number 9, a communication from the Management and Budget Department, report on how all coronavirus relief funds were spent.
Any questions? Any questions on this report? Next item?
Communication from Wayne County Treasurer forwarding the fourth quarter investment report for fiscal year 2023 through 2024.
Okay, is there anyone here from the Treasurer's Office who would like to speak to this?
I'm John Kravitz from the Treasurer's Office.
Good afternoon.
So for our fiscal year ending September 30th, 2024, we have 1.9 billion in our general fund under management and 36.8 million in our reserve fund for a total of $1.946 billion under management at September 30th. Our interest income year to date in the general fund, $78.2 million and $1.82 million in the reserve fund for a total of $80.2 million for our fiscal year 2024. That's up from $54.9 million for 23 and $10.6 million for 22. So 46% increase from last year. So we can't beat that. That's great news. Interest rates are starting to come down a little bit, but we have locked stuff in. And as that matures, rates that are coming down for the new stuff that we're buying. So we'll probably see a decrease a little bit next year. Hopefully we'll still be above the 2023 numbers though.
Thank you. Any additional questions? Any questions?
Yep. One thing we would like to talk to the commission about probably at our next presentation is changing our investment policy to allow us more flexibility in investing out to 3 years and out to 5 years from the current 3 years that we have. We've talked to a number of money managers and a lot of the opportunity that we have is being restricted because of the time. So we'd like to get more in line with the state of Michigan and some of the other bigger counties that have a longer flexibility in their maturities.
Okay.
So
Can you get that information over to our staff
We
so they
will.
can do all the due diligence
Yes.
and comparisons and, standard
Absolutely.
practices,
we'll
before?
have that when we do our
Okay,
presentation.
okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, Commissioner Marecki?
Thank you. So would that just be a vote of the commission to allow you to
It
do
would
that?
be, well, I believe any change to the investment policy is an ordinance change.
Oh, or-
So we did that probably 7 years ago when we made some changes, but it's important for us to review it on a regular basis and, kind of keep in touch with, what's going on in the market and, what we need to do to maximize our returns.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any additional questions? Commissioner Clemente? Oh, I'm sorry, you are sorry. Okay, no, thank you. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Clerk, next item.
Item 11, requesting commission approval of budget adjustment 2024-35 to 34, reallocating expenditures in the general fund.
Okay, who is here to speak to this? Is there anyone here to speak to
Okay.
this?
Good afternoon. This is Benita Terry, Wayne County Sheriff's Office, Director of Administration.
Okay,
Uh,
okay,
this-
yes,
How are you?
doing fine.
That's good. This budget adjustment is simply a reallocation in order to provide the increase for our project consultants and our part-time officers. There was an increase that was given back in the month of June. Also, it was to fund our advertising recruitment efforts here for the sheriff's office. So it's a
Okay, are they-
reallocation of funds.
Thank you. Are there any questions from any of the commissioners? Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Madam Clerk, next item.
Item 12, requesting commission approval of budget adjustment 2024-35-299, reallocating expenditures in a general fund.
Okay, are there any questions associated with this item? Any questions? A motion is in order to receive and file the various reports and also the requested budget adjustments. Motion is in order.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion to move items 1 through 12. Some that are receiving file for approval.
And then approval of the
Approval of 11 and 12.
11 and 12.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
Yep. So that's receive and file 1 through 10
And 11 to 12,
approval.
For
approval, yes.
Okay.
Is there
It's been
support?
moved with their support. It's been moved by Commissioner Baydun, supported by Commissioner Mareki. Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? These items stand approved. Next item, Madam Clerk.
F, such other matters as may be properly submitted before the committee.
I know of none. Next item.
Item G, public comments.
At this time, I would like to ask if the mics can be unmuted. And I'm now asking anyone on Zoom or who are joining us by telephone, if you would raise your hand to be recognized if you would like to address this committee this afternoon.
Chair, I see no hands on Zoom and no emails were received.
Thank you. I would like to ask, is there anyone present with us today who would like to address the committee? Anyone present? Public comment is closed. Next item.
Item H, adjournment.
Motion is in order.
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Baydun, supported by Commissioner Anderson. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.